Recently, the Seattle City Council voted for and adopted several new ordinances which will affect landlords, property managers, and tenants citywide. One of the most controversial of these new ordinances is commonly known as first in time. The key piece of this new law is that beginning January 1st, 2017, landlords and property managers must follow new first in time or first serve requirements when screening applicants for residential rental properties. The effect of the ordinance is that you must offer tenancy to the first qualified party that turns in a completed application. Say goodbye to the days when you could accumulate applications and candidates and then choose the one that you like best regardless of when they applied. There are two components of this ordinance that deal directly with first in time. Number one, you'll need to screen tenants in the order that you receive a completed application. Secondly, you must offer the unit to the first applicant who submits a complete application and then meets your minimum criteria for accepting a tenant. Of course, there's an entire section of the new law that governs how these two components work, as well as there being exceptions to these rules. And I am sure that as the process plays out over the first of the year, there will be more that is written and adopted, and our behavior will need to change accordingly. For now, I believe it is important that as you prepare for the adoption of the new ordinance, that you are aware of a few things. It only affects properties located in the city of Seattle. If your property is not in the Seattle city limits, you can go about your business without change. It is important that you establish a minimum criteria for accepting a tenant and make all applicants aware of the criteria. Some of the things that you might consider in establishing a minimum criteria are an income to rent ratio. We currently use 3:1. A minimum credit score. We use 680 or higher. And having a clean criminal background. Establishing pet and smoking criteria, either yes or no. Having no late pays or derogatory info from previous landlords. Requiring first month's rent, last month's rent, and security deposit paid in full upon moving. Once you establish your criteria, included in your marketing of individual properties, also included in your rental application packet. As a landlord or property manager, you're required to date stamp all of the applications as they come in and process them in the order that they come in. If someone does not provide you with a complete application, you must notify them and allow them to make changes, but they will lose their place in line. If you seek additional information from an applicant that was not part of your published criteria, they get to keep their place in line and have up to 72 hours to provide you with the information that you have requested. Landlords must offer tenancy to the first prospect meeting all your published criteria. You must allow 48 hours for the party to accept before you can move on to accept the next completed application. In a competitive marketplace, the intent of the legislation is to try and create a level playing field for all qualified tenants. The flip side of this is that it very well may have the result of slowing down the rental process, as well as having frustrated landlords raise rents and raise their criteria in an effort to establish a really high bar that only a few can hurdle. As most things do, time will tell. If you're going to take this on yourself, we suggest that you take some time in getting to know the ordinance and refine your application procedures. There will be code enforcement officers that will investigate complaints. For this reason, it is important that you establish your processes and have the ability to provide evidence in the event that you are called on. If you are a landlord that is relying on likability and gut feel as a qualifying measure for your tenants, you will need to adopt to this new ordinance. As always, the property managers that are here at Real Property Associates are very skilled and are trained to navigate ordinances such as just in time. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to us. Thank you.